Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to tackle something huge, something you've definitely heard about, Bitcoin, and we're going to do it in just about 5 minutes. So, you ready? Let's jump right in.
Okay, let's just start with a thought experiment. What if you could send money to anyone? And I mean anyone in the world.
And what if you could do it without a bank, without asking for permission, and, get this, in a way that no one could ever fake? Well, that really powerful idea? That's the promise of Bitcoin, right at its core. So what is it, really? Simply put, Bitcoin is just digital money. It lives on the internet. But, and this is the big but, no single person, no bank, no government is in charge. It's a network that's run by and for its users.
But, to really get why Bitcoin was even created, we have to look at the problem it was designed to solve. And we're going to call this the one referee problem.
Okay, so think about the money you use every day. Your bank is kind of like a single referee in a game. They keep a private scoreboard of who has what, right? But the thing is, that one referee, they can make mistakes. They can freeze your account. They can be told to just print more money, which makes yours worth less. Bitcoin's approach, it's completely different. Instead of just one referee, you've got thousands of them, all the computers on the network. They all check this one public scoreboard together, which makes it incredibly hard for anyone to cheat. So that begs the question, right? How in the world does this public scoreboard work if there's no one in charge? Well, Bitcoin's solution is actually really clever and surprisingly simple. Let's just think of it as a public money notebook. All right, picture this, a giant digital notebook. And this notebook is shared with absolutely everyone on the network. It's got a permanent record of every single transaction that's ever happened. The key here is that it's all out in the open. Anyone can look at it and check the records for themselves. So let's see this in action. A transaction happens, right? And a new line just gets added to the notebook for everyone to see. Something like, Tam sent 0.001 BTC to Ali. Boom, it's there. It's public and it's permanent. And then the next transaction comes along. Another line gets added. Ali sent 0.005 BTC to Sarah. See? The notebook just keeps on growing, page after page, creating this perfect, unchangeable history that everyone on the network agrees on. And, just like that, you totally got the main idea. This public, permanent, shared notebook, that's what people are talking about when they say the word blockchain. See? Without all the confusing jargon, you just understood the core technology that makes this whole thing tick. Okay, so a public notebook sounds cool. But that brings up a really big question, doesn't it? How do we know we can actually trust it? I mean, what's to stop someone from just writing in fake transactions to make themselves rich? Yeah, and that leads us to a question pretty much everyone asks. We can copy and paste a photo 1,000,000 times, right? So why can't you just do the same thing with a Bitcoin? The answer is actually pretty simple. A Bitcoin isn't a file you can just copy. It's an entry in that public notebook. So if you try to spend the same Bitcoin twice, which is called double spending, all those thousands of referees on the network will immediately see that you've already spent it, and they'll just reject your second attempt. It's this simple but totally brilliant solution that makes digital money work. So who actually gets to write these new pages in the notebook? Well, that's the job of what we call miners. And these aren't people with pickaxes, they're super powerful computers. They're all competing to solve a really hard math puzzle. The first one to crack it gets to add the next page of transactions. And as a reward for all that work, they earn brand new Bitcoin, plus the transaction fees. This constant competition is what keeps the whole notebook secure and makes cheating way too expensive to even try. Okay, so the technology's pretty clever. But what really makes Bitcoin different from the money in your bank account? Well, it pretty much boils down to two huge ideas, scarcity and ownership. This number right here, it's everything. It is absolutely crucial to understanding Bitcoin. There will only, ever, be 21 million Bitcoin. Period. Not one more. That limit is baked right into the code, and it cannot be changed. So what does that mean? It means this fixed supply creates real digital scarcity. Think about it. Central banks can print more dollars or euros whenever they want, which can lower the value of your money. But Bitcoin's supply? It's totally predictable, and it's finite. That's exactly why you hear people call it digital gold. All right, let's clear up something that confuses a lot of people: wallets. Your Bitcoin doesn't actually sit inside your wallet like cash does.
Nope, your coins are just records on that public notebook we talked about. Your wallet? It doesn't hold the coins. It holds your keys. And the most important one is your private key. That's like the secret password that proves you own the coins and lets you spend them.
And this whole idea of personal control, it's a really big deal. It leads to one of the most famous sayings in the entire crypto world: not your keys, not your coins. It's a super powerful reminder that in this system, you really are your own bank. If you control your keys, and only you control them, then you truly control your Bitcoin.
Okay, so we've covered the tech, the scarcity, the whole ownership thing. Let's kind of zoom out now and pull it all together. What's the big idea here? Why are so many people so interested in this stuff?
Well, for a lot of people, the appeal really boils down to a few things you just can't find anywhere else. It's the first money that was born on and for the internet. Its supply can't just be inflated away. It works for anyone, anywhere in the world, no permission needed. And it's decentralized, so no single person can just shut it off. Now, because of all that, some people see it as a long-term way to save. But, and this is super important to remember, it's new, it's volatile, and it is definitely high risk.
So, after all that, maybe we can boil this whole big, complicated topic down to just one simple question to leave you with. What if the big idea is just this? A public, uncheatable money scoreboard, run by the internet for the internet. And if that's true, what do you think the world could build on top of something like that?